evening. Go ahead and call the Selma City Council meeting to order. Also, I want to remind everyone of the courtesy rules that we do have on the agenda. It's been a very lucky duty of me enforcing them, but from this point on, we would move forward with enforcing the courtesy rules. At this time, I'm going to ask you for a moment of silence for all the honoring veterans and also Mrs. Evans. I would like to recognize Councilman Randolph, who's a veteran, and also Councilman LaShore, both veterans serving up here on the council. So this time, I'm going to ask everyone to pause for a brief moment honoring the veterans and Mrs. Evans. And all of God's children say, amen. Amen. Councilwoman Jackson, would you be so kind to give us the invocation?
I sure will, if you're right here. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you, Lord God. We thank you for another opportunity to come before your holy and precious throne. Lord God, we thank you for being sovereign and omnipotent. Lord God, we thank you for being King of kings and Lord of lords. Lord, we thank you for having all power in your hand. Lord God, we thank you that no man can no wise cast us out, Lord God, because you have called us, Lord God, and you have ordained us. Lord God, we ask that you work in each and every council member here today, Lord God, that we would only do your will, Lord God. Not our will be done, but your will be done. Lord God, we cast out every imagination, every vain thought, everything that exalts itself against the knowledge of you, Lord. And we bring into captivity those things that are pure, that are good, that are of good report, Lord God. We bring them to you, Lord God. We ask that you use us mightily, Lord God. We ask that you bless each and every one of our citizens, Lord God. We pray blessings upon our mayor, Lord God, in city government as a whole, Lord God. We thank you that this city of Selma is in your hand, Lord God. We thank you that you never sleep nor slumber, Lord God. And because you're faithful, we trust you, we believe you, and Lord God, we believe that the best is yet to come. In Jesus' precious, righteous, and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Jackson. Let us stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
President Bowie.
Present.
Councilman Bowling.
Present.
Councilwoman Youngblood. Councilwoman Jackson.
Present.
Councilwoman Benjamin.
Here.
Councilman Randolph.
Here.
Councilman LaShore.
Here.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Present.
Councilman Johnson.
Here. As stated before, we do have a quorum so we can conduct business. The character trait of the month is wisdom, seeing and responding to life situations from a perspective that transcends my current circumstances. At this time, council members, you have before you the regular November 12th agenda. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve and move forward with the November 12th agenda.
So moved, Mr. President.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Johnson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bowling. Any further discussion? Questions? Roll call.
President Bowie.
Yes.
Councilman Bowling.
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood. Councilwoman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Benjamin.
Yes.
Councilman Randolph.
Yes.
Councilman LaShore.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Okay. The approval of the agenda was voted unanimously. Council members, you have before you the consent agenda. We have 4 items to be considered for the consent agenda. At any point in time you would like to remove an item, you may. We can discuss it separately. Consent item number 1 to approve resolution R111-1920 authorizing AT&T to modify an existing tower located at 3538 West Highway 80 West Selma. Consent item number 2. This particular item was placed on first reading in our last meeting. It's in Councilman Johnson Ward 8 to approve Ultra Grand Lounge for a liquor license. Consent item number 3 to approve a fee waiver of the Memorial Stadium for the Selma City Vikings for the upcoming season. And consent item number 4 is going to be a change in the council meeting for this month in December to approve moving the meeting to Monday, November 18th, 2019, which will be on Monday And on Tuesday, December the 17th, that would follow the meeting. December the 10th will follow. We're gonna have back-to-back meetings in December. All right, at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve and adopt the consent agenda. Do we have a motion on the floor?
A second.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Randolph, second by Councilwoman Thomas. Any further discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
President Bowie?
Yes.
Councilman Bowling?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood? Councilman Jackson?
I vote, yes on items 3 and 4, same for 1 and 2.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph?
Yes.
Councilman LaShaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
I'm abstaining on absent from the work session.
Okay, all right. Council members, we have a marathon set of minutes, September 10th, September 24th, September 30th, October 7th, and October the 8th. Hopefully, everyone has had the opportunity to approve all sets of minutes. If not, you want to carry them over to Monday?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Okay, all right. We'll carry them over until Monday. So make sure, hopefully you have an opportunity to approve all sets of minutes. Now we're down to the announcements from councilperson. Are there any announcements from the awards at this time? Councilwoman Thomas.
Back here last month, I talked about our schools being a part of the poster contest where we do Arbor Day, where we have schools from the 5th grade elementary. And I also know that each one of us, some of us have elementary schools in our ward. So I would like to know if they were interested in having their school to be a part of this, which this Selma is being the first time we're being a part of this poster contest where we take with the public schools, the 5th graders. It's also a part of my Keep Alabama Beautiful. And I wanted the schools that in our areas to have the 5th grades to be a part of this contest. This is, they'll put Selma out. And this is very good for our children to take part of learning how to be part in this art contest that we're doing.
Okay, so you're asking for any
Yeah, any elected officials that have
school in the ward?
yeah, schools in there where I have the information. You can give it to the principal, which Miss Denise Taylor will be here on December the 5th. This will start, the kickoff will start off on we would start January 2020, this contest. And we would go around to all of the schools and talk to all of the elementary 5th grade students and give them an opportunity. We would leave the posters there, and I think they would have to get the markers and take part in the contest in February the 10th.
Any other announcements from the respective boards? Councilwoman, sorry.
Council members, I sent you a message concerning our change in the mile walk. I had to watch the weather today because I have some senior citizens that may be coming out. And I called the local EMA. We were under a high wind advisory till 5 p.m. today. So I sent you all a message earlier today. And I also sent it to the media. Thank you, media, for getting it out so quickly for me on social media. It will be changed to Friday. This Friday at 12:15 p.m. We will do the mile walk. I checked the weather. It's sunny. It's in the 60s, but it's also sunny. So the sun makes a difference. So we'll do that on this coming Friday. Bless you. This coming Friday, the 15th. Bless you twice. On December 13th or 18th, just look at your calendar for this one, because this is a new one. It's going to be either the 13th or the 18th. We're trying to create a Polar Express experience for the children. Adam, I I will send you all information so that you can, we can kind of talk about it with the media. So December 13th or 18th, start looking at your calendars for the Polar Express experience. Don't compare it to other cities, because we do not have a train that we can ride, okay? We don't have a train, so don't compare it to what you know about other cities, all right? My annual, end of the year, I think this is the 13th annual, if I'm not mistaken, 13th, I think, annual, end of year, State of the Board address, and acknowledgements is December 16th, always the third Monday, right after Holiday House ends. So it's December 16th. Go ahead and put that on your calendar, if you will, for 4:30 p.m. And Mr. President, this is a question because at the work session I did say I was going to have a motion for the floor. Will that come somewhere later since we changed the agenda? I don't know what it was.
We would, probably, carry those tonight.
Monday. Do it Monday. Okay, I'll do it Monday. All right.
All right. Councilman Randolph.
Yeah, I got a statement. I guess y'all saw in the news that my case has been dismissed for so-called lewdness in the community. And I'm glad it's been dismissed, but I'm still kind of like upset because the police department doing false arrest.
Well, it's ready.
We have some issues. Go ahead.
But I'm just appalled by the police department, Chief Spencer Collins did me, and the mayor tried to shut me up, you know, and try to put my name all on the media, talking about lewdness. How would you like your son or daughter to be like like that? That didn't bother me whatsoever. But what my concern is, if they do it to me, and I'm a council person, guess what they'll do to the individual citizen? And say, you know, it's just not right for the police department to do a citizen like that, you know, because you're trying to shut somebody up, and the mayor's continually be on his talk show saying, how would you like a councilperson off lewdness in the street, you know? Only thing I'm asking for is very simple. I want a public apology from the police department, a public apology from the mayor. That's all I'm asking for. If you don't do that, I'll see you in federal court. I will see you in federal court. And I'm not playing. You know, I already got my $10,000 pay my lawyer fee. I will see you in federal court. But like I said, it's wrong how people, just because you don't like me, try to shut me up. You can't shut me up because I'm not a person who needs to shut up. When you try to shut me up, that makes me push you even harder. You know, but I'm putting that out there to y'all. The mayor's buddies up there, y'all better tell him. I need my public apology before next Friday. I promise you, before next Friday.
Councilwoman Thomas, second time around, then Councilwoman.
Yeah, I didn't finish my announcement there. Also, I will be kicking off, Commissioner Rubin and Councilwoman Thomas will be making, City of Selma will be a part of Little Free come 2020. We will have a big kickoff in downtown area where the area where we have a lot of tourists and a lot of people come in, and we see that we'll be inviting people. We'll be having it'll be a little like a live show talking about how we can keep our city clean, and we'll be giving pickup sticks. Also, we'll be giving litter bags, which the litter bags are where you have in your vehicle that we have a lot of citizens generally throw out of their car. We're going to be giving them litter bags to carry in their vehicle, and we'll be doing this big kickoff in January, the first week in January for 2020 to make Selma litter-free city.
Anything else, Councilwoman Thomas?
No, that's all. Those are main
Councilwoman?
announcements.
This is in regards to Councilman Randolph's remarks. Councilman Randolph, I'm just really sorry you had to go through that. I was on the phone with you. I'm glad you called. I was on the phone. I heard the comments of the officers, and I heard everything you said to them as well. And it was at first I thought it was just a joke, and then it turned out not to be a joke, because it's just gotta be a joke, because that was not professional at all, the way that it happened and the way that it went down. So I don't blame you for being upset. There are too many lies in this city. Too much propaganda in this city. From city employees to the mayor's office to wherever. There are lies, too many, in this city. We had some citizens to attend a meeting on last week. Y'all did well. And thank y'all for coming to council meeting and knowing firsthand what happens at council meetings. Y'all were able to dispute the lies. Y'all were able to do that, and y'all did it well. I gotta commend y'all. Y'all did it very well. It's too many lies, Mr. President. It's causing me. His job was called. FedEx was called on this man, and he almost lost his job. His boss called him while he was at jail, at the jailhouse. We were all there at the jailhouse with him. He was at the jail trying to get out the jail. FedEx called to see what was going on. This is what lies will do to people's livelihood. Too much going on.
Any other comments?
Not right now.
Any other questions, comments? All right. To the citizens' request, we're gonna make sure you stay within the 5-minute time frame. Once you have 1 minute, I'm gonna hold up 1 minute, and hopefully you start wrapping up. Mr. Leo Strong, Reverend Chris Miller agreed to let him go first.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I'm going to read very rapidly, very fast. Mayor Melton in absentia, President Bowie, President Pro Tem Benjamin, Honorable Council, women and men, I greet you in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. The Holy Bible expresses and expounds the wisdom of Solomon, and yet wisdom is also contained in the vernacular of our grandparents, their mother wit, distilled wisdom from life experiences. That wisdom reveals to us that to every season, to everything under the sun, there's a time and a season. And in the language of our ancestors, our parents, 2 wrongs don't make a right. If you apply the wisdom of Solomon to the stacks and piles of trash lining the streets of Selma, the indisputable, inescapable truth and conclusion is that it's past time for a change. We can no longer turn a deaf ear to the collective common sense whispered praise from one end of this city to the other. It's time for a change, and 2 wrongs don't make a right. Just because many of us have remained silent, mystified, almost hypnotized by the self-inflicted crisis, while we've been working behind the scenes, hoping and praying for a change in the minds, hearts, and spirits of those who have the power to turn this disaster around, does not mean that we rubber stamp the status quo. We have prayed and waited and waited and prayed, and now it is time for a change. We have reached that critical point. It's time for the mayor and the council to stop blaming each other for the problem in a childish, juvenile, self-serving game of pin the blame on each other rather than on the donkey, a game in which we are all losers and nobody wins. It's time for the mayor and the council, for the good of the order, to use common sense for the common good, to start from a mindset and a spirit of problem solving, to shift the paradigm from I got you to a win-win, results-driven paradigm with progressive, measurable, and prioritized goals. It's time for the mayor to remember his own pledge and his own promise in his campaign that he made to us when he was seeking our votes, that he would put Selma first. It's time for the council to acknowledge and admit that regardless of who is right, who is wrong, who has hurt each other's feelings, it's time to acknowledge that the present policy of all or nothing at all has left us with just that, nothing at all, except trash piled up high on our streets filled with potholes, fire stations closed, police and fire and first responders understaffed, under-equipped, under-resourced, and all of this is happening at a time when federal dollars have been made available to us to bolster and to boost our own law enforcement efforts and to supplement the prosecution and the elimination from our city of undesirable criminal elements that rob us of our quality of life. And in order for us to maximize the benefits of the federal help which is being made available to us, it's time for us to make a change. The time has come when the citizens who are being deprived of their basic services are sick and tired of childish squabbles, and we need somebody to stand up and to be the adult in the room. We don't care if you don't like each other. We don't care if you have historical issues with each other, can't stand each other. Working with persons in public settings towards common goals is the price that we pay when we have been vested with public trust. When that trust has been placed in us by putting us into public offices which we hold, and we receiving public taxpayer dollars as compensation for being in those offices. 1 minute?
Yes, sir.
All right. We the people create the change, so propose to create the change. Identify the number of laid off. We're proposing that you enter into binding, and all of that is in here, that you enter into binding, arbitration, mediation. Those goals are identify the number of laid off city workers who are still available to be brought back to work for the city, establish priority seniority for returning those persons back to work. There's a timeline, a time schedule for that to happen. We hope that that will take place starting Monday, November the 18th, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that on Monday, on November the 8th, on November the 22nd, you will be able to announce some progress that has been made toward those.
Okay, first off, you must have been looking at my notes. That was the whole objective behind the exploratory meeting that we didn't move forward with. I do agree with you, but in order to work together, it's like a pendulum. It must swing both ways. And I have bent over backwards to try to work from both ends. But you have to right the wrong. First of all, when you lay the employees off, you have to follow policies and procedures. If you don't follow policies and procedures, it's gonna be an afterthought around our neck. But it's time to move forward. But it's kind of funny now. We've been up here trying to bring the laid off employees back for over 6 months, but now it's come to fruition that we need to move forward with.
May I respond?
Councilwoman Benjamin,
Yeah.
and then Councilman Randolph, and Councilwoman Jackson.
It's been longer than 6 months.
Been a year.
It's been longer than 6 months. The money never left, and the employees should have never left. You want us to go into arbitration and litigation and pay some
No,
money?
not litigation. We've had enough litigation.
Okay,
I hope
you're
that
right.
was
So
litigation.
let's talk about litigation. We had enough of it. You're talking about squabbles. We don't squabble up here. You're talking about a man that's been squabbling within himself and his own spirit. We don't squabble up here. We don't squabble up here, okay? We have put the money where it belongs, in the pocket of the mayor. We can't bring one city employee back, not one, not zero. But we can make the money available, and we did that, and we never took it back, ever. The money has never disappeared, it's always been there. You come to council meetings, so you have heard the finance director's reports. You know the truth. You know the truth of it all, but yet you come and you say, we the people. Who are these people? Because these people also come to the meeting and hear the same thing that you hear, yet you're saying something contrary. You're being contrite about the information that you're giving to these people. You know for a fact that it has been already shared that the employees, the money for the employees was never gone. You know that the administrator of the entire city of Selma is the mayor. You know that. You know that we are the legislators. We legislate. And we put the money where it belongs. Not one single nine of us can bring an employee back. But guess who has the power to hit the send button? And the magic happens.
Okay, hold on.
May I respond to any of that? I'm perfectly ready and willing to respond to any of that.
Hello, I'm gonna go ahead and let Councilman Randolph, then Councilwoman Jackson, then Councilman Short, and then you can respond, then we'll move on.
Well said, my colleague over there. You took some of
No,
my
I
words,
can't
but
read it. I'm with today. I'm with today.
I'm confused why you are here anyway, because we did not lay these people off. Everything you talked about is in the mayor's office. He laid the folks off. He got the people not picking up the trash. Only thing he can say, well, if y'all don't pick up the trash, I'm gonna fire one of y'all. Did he say that? Our city's a mess, 100% mess. The shrub is outside, nothing being done. But you trying to blame us for his stupidity?
No, not blaming
Then you talking about we act like childish up here? Childish is a person that don't come to council meeting, don't go visit nobody, don't do nothing for the citizens. He you know what the mayor anti-citizen? He anti-young people, anti-youth. Anything he trying to do for the citizens, he gonna go against it. And you want us to sit up here and listen at you, talking that this right here, this.
No,
You know what?
may I respond?
Let me finish. I think you should have went to him with this mess first, instead of coming to us and trying to talk about we playing child's games up there. We ain't playing no child's games. I'm for real. When I talk about bringing those people back, he shouldn't even lay them off. I said, you wanna feel what real is? I think the mayor should. It's coming to criminal time. Let's get a laid off employees a criminal bonus, one-time pay raise to all the laid off employees. How about that? Now, you can talk to me now. But if you don't want to,
Am I allowed to
if you
May
don't,
I?
Hold on. We're gonna let everybody talk.
listen, let me finish, because you interrupt me, I ain't interrupt you. But
I did
I'm
not
telling you, you got my PTSD flying up here. But like I said, I don't like when people come up here and try to blame the council for stupidity that the mayor did. Don't blame it on us.
Okay.
Nobody should blame us for nothing that man did. He laid off all them folks for no reason. Anytime he get mad at the council, guess what he do? He gonna take it out on the citizens.
That's right.
Every time, look, he gonna take it out on the citizens. He gonna take it out on the employees. We ain't got nothing to do with that.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Thomas, then Councilwoman
I
Jackson,
go
I'm
last.
sorry. Then Councilman LaShaw.
I go last.
And Councilwoman Thomas, then we moving on.
Okay. Actually, Mr. President, my question is to you. You stated that we had an exploratory
No.
meeting or you proposed an exploratory meeting.
I didn't get the
and
opportunity to
most-
make it.
Right, and that most of this would have been
Yes.
addressed in that meeting. And you stated that it did not come to fruition.
It
Can
did
you
not.
elaborate why it did not come to fruition? Do you mind saying?
Well, basically, it was brought to my attention that it was in the best interest that the mayor and I met with the recreation chairperson and the public works chairperson. And I said, thank you for the input, and that was about it. Anything else, Councilwoman?
No, I just want to see if you had extended the olive branch.
Yes,
Was it
because with the
rejected or was it
exploratory,
accepted?
yeah, it's more along the lines of coming to a consensus, the objectives, with some ideas, hopefully, that we can move forward. Councilman LaShaw.
I want to apologize to you, Reverend Stone, for the tone lashing that you received up here by this council. Who said you haven't already approached the mayor about this debacle that our city is having? What you have in this document is the gospel truth. It is a problem between the executive branch and the legislative branch. And for my colleagues to bastard you with accusation, I just want to apologize for that. The exploratory meeting that did not take place, an email was sent to the president, and a copy was sent to me from Public Works and the Recreation Committee. That in his humble opinion, that the concerns of the employees that is impacted by the walk-off or sick-off or however you call it, impacted the Recreation Department, Public Works, and General Services. And he felt then that it would be best served by these committees. And therefore, I started to assemble a meeting between 3 committees, administrative, recreation, and the public works. However, every time I called somebody, the date and time wasn't good for them. So what I decided to do was pick out a date and have 2 meetings. And you come to whichever one that best suited you. Nevertheless, that meeting was held. It was a very fruitful meeting, I must add. It was a heartfelt meeting that was held that the employees came and talked about their dilemma and why they are not satisfied with the city government and the way city government is handling them. Once again, I'm not going to prolong my comments. I just want to apologize on behalf of this council for attacking you, for trying to solve a problem that has been going on for too long. And until we come to our senses and start to work and compromise with each other, you're just up here wasting your time. So therefore, I applaud you for bringing to our attention the concerns of we the people. You're not the only one to have this concerns. You just had the courage to come to talk about the issue that is plaguing our city, and for that I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Councilman LaShaw.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Thomas, and then we'll close it out. Council.
You want to be like?
Yeah.
You want to be like?
Yeah, I'll be laughing, because what I want to say is,
Councilwoman Benson, second time.
I don't need
And then-
anyone up here apologizing for me.
that's right.
I speak for myself. You just got an apology on behalf of the council. Those were the words. I don't need anyone apologizing for me and my comments.
I don't need an apology.
Okay, I didn't think you did, because
Yeah.
you meant what you said, and we meant what we said. So I don't need anyone apologizing on behalf
Yeah, well,
of Angela Benjamin.
yeah, if
At
I
all.
might,
At
what we
all.
need is the resumption of services. And so what we need is to problem solve in a way. When you get through, I wish that I had time to read the whole document.
Mr.
And you would.
President, I'd like to finish. I'd like to finish. So there was a public meeting called with people who might be intimidated by the mayor, might not. I don't know, the men in my circle wouldn't be intimidated by it. But I'm just saying, maybe they were and maybe they were not. It was a public meeting called. A very wise man told us to meet with these folks in private so that they would be not intimidated and it would be confidential and it wouldn't get back out. But instead we had a public meeting where everybody can hear the comments and everybody could view who was present and everybody could know who said what. Let me tell you something. If you had a public meeting with my grandma and me, my grandma, I wouldn't say a word adverse to what my grandma might hear, because she would knock me into next week. Okay, I was intimidated by her. I was intimidated by my grandma. There's nothing I would say in her presence, but pull her out the room, I could tell you everything. From the rooter to the tutor.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman Benjamin. Councilwoman Thomas, then Councilman.
She wants to come in the rear.
You want
I'm coming now.
Okay.
The reason why I want to say this to the citizens, I hear you, Pastor, but when you say working hard to make things work and to come back together, this body, you got a lot of people out here that sitting up here have been working. We have been doing what a day-to-day operation should have been done. Because if we didn't take upon ourselves and to get other people involved and to clean up our city and to do other things, it would look real bad. It would look terrible. It would look like that water fountain out there that's sitting here in City Hall with garbage, trash, and everything in it. But you know, we are strong leaders because we came out. We stepped out and we've been fighting for workers. We've been fighting for the ones that day when they said 4 weeks we've been had what they call it, sick out or vacation, whatever. I'm a rep. I know what time when it came to. When you stay off a job 4 weeks, this is a right to work state, Alabama. This is a government operation which has put our city of Selma with trash, garbage. We're in violation, but we as leaders have took upon our own self to go out in this community and all over these streets, cleaning, picking up. But can you tell me, did any executive, the man that run this city, step out of his box and go with us to try to make a change? But we never argue, we never fuss. We get up in the morning, 8 o'clock. Some of us get people out here to keep our city going. But I want to let you know something. Those guys right there, I'm with these guys because you know why? It's about fair, equal opportunity, and they want a pay raise. But the right way you do your pay raise is we're in the middle of our budget. These guys are gonna get a pay raise. But when you don't get what you want, you say shut them down. Shut them down. Let the city see who's in charge. Let the garbage build up. Let it build up all over the city until you get what you want. But I want to let these guys know, you don't have a union. This is a right to work place. It's a place where you have a voice, we hear you. And it's our opportunity to give you what you want. If you got CDL license, you're a truck driver, you're supposed to make a decent salary. If you're a grass cutter, you're supposed to make a decent salary. I've been fighting for working folks all my life because I'm a part of you. I'm a labor person just like you. And that's why I can sit here and fight and talk because I do it all. I pick up trash. I go out in the community. I help everybody. So I want to let y'all know something. You ain't out here by your own. We're with you. So I know you can't have a voice because if you speak out and say, I want to go back to work, you're going against the person who's the head, your department head and your executive chief, because he runs the city on a day-to-day basis operation. That's all I got to say. Because I understand where y'all want. You want your money, but give us an opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman Thomas. We'll follow up on that before I go to Councilman Johnson and let Reverend Strong finish his comments. You also need to keep in mind only the supervisor can make the recommendation for a raise. That's in the policy and procedure handbook.
Okay, first of all, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Rev, for coming out. I really appreciate it. As a concerned citizen, again, I apologize on behalf of myself for being part of Ward 8. But again, I heard some things, interesting things that I like to look into. Like, first one is this way, the money is there, but we can bring our employees back. Like we said, it should never been taken off. I'm asking for a reason. Yeah, okay, the money's there. Okay, because I'm gonna make a motion. Okay, what about raises for the employees as well?
I can't.
I understand. We just gonna send a loud signals to the mayor for the people and the media can know that the council people
Well, I have
here.
no answer for you there. I haven't
Give
even
her
the positions that are still there, the funding for the positions are still there.
Correct.
Nothing has changed. I can't answer. I will not speak blindly on what is available for a raise because when you're during a budget process, you have to move things around, make adjustments, see, and prioritize your needs. It would be reckless for me to get up here and tell you, yeah, there's money available for a raise. So, but yes, the money is still there. I said it before. The employees should have never been laid off, and the funding is still there for them.
Well, good, thank you. The reason why I said that is the president, and I think what we need to do, let the employees know. And I heard them loud and clear the other night, and they have spoken. And they spoke loud. I heard some things that they said, and the mayor was sitting right there. And I think Ms. Goodman, you was there, a lot of heard the employees. They spoke pretty hard. 3 of us was here, Councilman Short and Councilman Bolin. We heard them. So what I'm asking, I'm suggesting, just send a loud message down to the mayor's office that we are with the employees. We want to give them a raise. Now, like you said again, like we did the bonus. We voted to give them that bonus that we want to give them when that fund was available. We did it. So tonight, I want to make a motion to bring the workers back along with giving a raise when the raise is due, when we get out of this budget crisis, what are we doing? And I'd like to make a motion right now, if I could, Mr. President.
Okay,
To bring the workers back, bring all workers back. We want the mayor office to know that the council, and we want the citizen to know as well, that we want the workers to come back to work. As Ms. Wade said, the funding is there. I think we saved money over the months where the city workers wasn't working. And also, we want to let the workers know that we will give them a raise as soon as the budget finished completed. It's just like we did the bonus we did before. And I'd like to move forward with that.
Well, I would move forward with, bringing them back for the umpteenth time, but as far as giving a raise off the top, you, like Ms. Wade said, you can't promise that until you look at it. I would be inclined to do the one-time raise, but y'all would want that. That's the money that can be allocated for, because that can be more sustainable. But if you give them a raise, that raise want to be sustainable, to make sure
Well,
we
can
have
we do
enough.
that then, Mr. President? Can we just, in 2020, at least give them a one-time bonus? And then in the meanwhile.
Raise, one-time raise.
Right, one-time raise, one-time raise. Let's make this happen.
Okay.
We need to let the workers know that we're thinking about them.
Okay.
I mean, because it's more than fair. Because that, and then in the meanwhile, we need to be getting that, the increase done.
That increment, we can do.
Correct, we need that. I mean, I'd like to make a motion, can we move forward with that at least?
Will this motion include the laid off workers, or is this just?
We talking about, we want the laid off workers to come back. Oh, we want the laid off workers to come back. You said the money's there, we should not be laid off. Yes.
But we need to spell it out.
I just want to make clarification,
Okay.
because we all know that it's
I
the
need to
mayor's
separate that
decision
motion.
whether or not to bring all of the employees back. But
Okay.
in the event that he does not bring the employees back, I need to know, once you vote for a one-time raise, will this include only the current employees, or will this include laid off workers? So in your motion, can you please clarify that?
Yeah, I would, it depends on what the law was saying, we'll go by the law. If the law will allow us to, the ones that were laid off come back, to get the bonus, well, yes. If not, then.
And need to,
One-time
we need
raise,
to
one-time raise.
clarify, make sure you understand that it is a raise, not a bonus. We
Right,
cannot
right,
give
yes,
bonuses.
one-time raise, correct, yeah, but that's my motion to bring all workers back. Keep in mind, we have a lot of employees gonna retire, and we have a lot of employees that going on to other jobs.
The ones that would come back.
Yes, ones that come back, correct.
Councilwoman Benjamin, then Councilwoman Davis.
Oh, no, I was just thinking out loud. We did this already, but I was just thinking out loud. I didn't have my hand up, but I was thinking out loud. We did this
Yeah.
already.
Okay, we have voted on this previously,
But
however, I think we should table, we haven't discussed the one-time raise, we are in the budget process, we weren't here, our rule states that we don't vote on anything unless we discussed it at work session, and so that's outside the rules, so the first thing we would need to vote on is if we would suspend our own rules. Then secondly, then we would vote on that, but what I'm asking is that we're in a budget process. We need to make sure that we know the totality of the funds that we're talking about. We put our treasurer on the spot tonight saying, do
Yeah,
this.
we shouldn't
and
do
if- And we shouldn't put her in that position because we don't know if that's $2 million or if it's $300,000. We don't know. And because we don't have those numbers, we shouldn't ask her. We shouldn't vote in an emotional setting and put funds on there and may spend funds that we may not have, may or may not have. And so we're in the budget process, and a part of the budget process, we can put in there for the one-time raise as a part of that process. It's supposed to be complete December 10th.
And that's what we've been doing in the past. Okay, Councilman Johnson?
That's
Yeah.
only responsible.
Go ahead. All I'm saying is this, that one-time raise was in there before and it got passed, got the majority voted, but we thought at one time we would hold up until the funding available. Apparently when the funding was available, it went on and went through. So what I'm saying is, pending that we go ahead on and get this taken care of, I don't think it's gonna happen before, you said December 10th?
But then too, you have to consider the fact, who may come back, you have to add that number in also. So I understand basically what Councilwoman Jackson is saying. It may be 10, maybe 20, maybe 25 to come back. So we definitely need to get more of a definitive number, before we move forward. Councilwoman, Thomas, Councilman LaShaw, then I'm gonna go ahead and let Rhea,
Okay.
Rhea close the sign.
Okay, and then also in there, in the budget, we have as our job classification. You have to look at, if you're gonna give a raise, you have to look at the qualification of these, public workers. What they do, like we have garbage truck driver. You have to be, you can't just go and just give them a one-time raise, and then they look at that one-time raise, and it's not what they expected. So this is why we say that, we're supposed to be through in December, don't we? December the 10th. So everybody know exactly how much money they'll be getting across the board.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and respond.
Listen, I think
Go ahead.
I thank you for the opportunity to be here. I know you're probably traumatized by this experience. You guys know how to respect y'all. Y'all already know that. Okay? You know about efforts that we tried before to advance the cause. You know about some of those efforts as well. There's enough blame to go around for me to get some, for all of us to get some, and for the problem to remain. I've had some training and been credentialed in alternative dispute resolution to steer cases, disputes away from the court situation and to resolve them outside of the court. And it's typical of the kind of anger that I'm being targeted with tonight. But it's also typical that once that anger has been expressed, there is some catharsis, there's some therapeutic value in being able to express that anger and then to move beyond it to deal with the issue. And all I'm asking, and I'm asking first that you read the document, because a lot of what you targeted with me tonight is not me, it's the anger, and I accept that as the price I have to pay for asking us all to look at a more excellent way of doing this. I accept that. My feelings are tough enough that they're not hurt. Please look at the document. Please, I'm headed to a weed and seed meeting right now to try to make sure that the city's portion of the $1 million gets applied in such a way that we get maximum benefits out of that. We're on the same team. I'm taking the same thing from you. I'm taking it from the mayor. This is not pro-mayor. This is pro-citizens of Selma. Let's get together. Let's do something about the problem. And we can do that ourselves. We don't need to wait for another election cycle. There is no ready-made fixed solution going to drop down out of the sky that we can just apply ready-made to our situation. We're going to have to talk to each other, disagree with each other, respect each other, love each other, get mad at each other, cuss each other out, and then go on and deal with doing something about what the problems are facing this city and move this city forward. I thank you for this opportunity. I'd like for you to first read the document, and you'll see that it anticipates some of what you're saying. It sets up a framework. It's not the only framework. I'm not just shooting from the hip. I'm in this with you guys, okay? Thank you for the time, and I hope that you'll move forward. I really do. Hope we'll move forward.
Not to differ with my colleague, Michael Johnson, I don't think this council needs to do anything until we get a budget. The mayor presented a budget of $20.2 million, and this budget was filled with revenue generated. It was raising the cost of use of facilities in the city of Selma, the cost of fees that will be compatible citywide around the state of Alabama. For an example, an inspector goes out in Montgomery to inspect the business, they get $45. Here in Selma, they get 10. Prattville, they get $25. Here in Selma, they get 10. We talking, they get $35. Here in Selma, they get 10. And what this council needs to do is fix the budget. And therefore, we will know what we're dealing with when it comes down to monies. I, of all people, believe that our employees deserve a livable wage. I believe our employees deserve to get everything that a good employee is deserving in carrying out services to the city. But it would be helter-skelter of us dealing out monies and we don't know what our budget is.
That's right.
We just need to wait until December the 10th is the number that was thrown out once the mayor's budget was rejected, and this council have yet to put anything in this place. So where are we with the budget? Are we fixing the budget? Some council people working on the budget, others are not. I don't know. I know that has been done in the past, but now I'm hoping to pray that come December the 10th, that we will have a firm understanding of what our budget is and what we're going to do about the budgetary process here in the city.
I'm going to withdraw my motion.
Thank
I'm going to withdraw my motion, Mr. President.
Thank you so much.
And but December 10th, it will be coming back up.
Just real quick, we have a budget. We have had a budget every year. I'm sorry, Madam Treasurer, did you tell somebody we didn't have a budget?
No, I talked to Councilman Shore on Friday. He knows I got the information. We had not, the amendments that we're planning on making.
The
to
budget
current-
amendments is what we're working on.
We're working on.
We're working
Right.
on the budget amendment. We have a budget and
Right.
we did it on time.
Well, the budget that we have is a continuing resolution, and that is not sufficing for numbers.
It's a working budget.
This council needs to have a budget This council has not had a budget that has been for real since 2016. The budget hearing that we had, it was partially attended by council folks. Out of the whole proceeding, there was only 3 council people at every meeting. And for the budget of the matter to be rejected without any sound reason, I don't know. This is not to promote his budget, but at least it was a budget. But I curl back because this council refused to approve it. But then they did not deny it because they're working on something that hover around December the 10th. So I'm waiting on December the 10th.
All right, thank you. Some of the stuff that was in the budget I did agree with, and that's part of, finalizing the budget for December the 10th.
We're not, I just want to be, we're not finalizing the budget on December 10th. We are amending the budget that we passed September 30th, whatever date it was. We have a budget and we're working on amendments. Adam, I'm saying that for the press, for the paper.
It's a continuing resolution, Adam. That's what it is.
It's amendment.
Budget amendment.
Chris Miller, please come forward. City workers, 5 minutes.
Like this.
Good evening.
I'm here, as Councilman Johnson said, I'm here to just tell you like it is. Our city is deprived of certain things simply because we got too many boys and too many girls trying to handle men's jobs and women's jobs. As a council, y'all have made the money available for these workers. However, I don't agree with you keep putting motions on the floor to do something you've always done. There needs to be, the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Coming up in here voting saying y'all giving them their money, that's good. But there needs to be something in place where all of y'all and the mayor, I've said to these city workers that I don't back down. If it take going to the press, if it take going to the news, or whatever it takes to get this matter resolved, it needs to be resolved. Y'all have fought for these workers. In fact, a lot of them were misinformed that, y'all was against them. But thank God some of us come here regularly and we're not paid to be here. We just love this city. We are here to make sure, I said to several of you on several occasions, this is the only council that I know have worked and kept this city afloat in the absence of leadership. Because every time you look around, I've attended more meetings than the leader of this city. That's sad. But what I'm saying is, there need to be some teeth to what's going on. These workers deserve it. These laid off workers deserve it. Ms. Wade has said the money is there. So my question is, what are we going to do about it besides just vote? Besides just meet? I'm tired of meeting. I'm tired of y'all voting for the same thing and nothing is resolved. You may say you need to talk to the mayor. Guess what? When they had that meeting at 12 o'clock, I turned around to him. Because one thing about me, you ain't gonna pump me down for nothing. Right is right. And all 9 of y'all that sit up here should be for the betterment of this city, and so should the mayor. So should the executive office. So all I'm saying is, there need to be some teeth to what y'all done, because obviously the mayor that we have don't regard y'all as a council. No matter what y'all put in place, or no matter what y'all say as far as this money is available, this is here, no matter how much you vote, it's almost as if y'all not saying anything. And Selma is long overdue a change. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. All right, thank you.
You can stay.
Councilwoman Denton and Councilman right now.
when you turned around to the mayor and you told him and you expressed what you wanted to express, what was his reply?
He didn't reply at all. I didn't expect him to reply.
Okay, we need more citizens speaking, as you have spoken today, period. We need more, speaking those things that you are speaking and saying what you are saying, but we need also, when you have a handful of people standing up for a whole gamut of people, and those particular people who are standing up for it do not appear,
Right,
or they change their story,
right,
they change their language,
right,
they change what they said at first.
right,
When you have a handful of people standing up for folk who don't even show up,
right,
there's something wrong with that.
right.
That's why you don't meet in public with people who are intimidated by
That's right.
people.
That's right.
You meet with them in private,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
that's when you get the real story.
Right,
And you don't pass their names along.
right,
Because once you pass their names along, then whoever they are afraid of gets to them and the story gets changed.
right,
So then you're left with the public story, the story that
Right.
comes out in public, not the private story, which is
Right.
the truth.
Right.
You end up with the public story,
right,
which is not the story.
right.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman Benjamin, and Councilman Randolph, and we'll move on. Councilman Randolph.
Pastor Miller, I assure you, I'm not angry up here.
You're right. I stay on him a lot.
I thank you for what you have said, you know, because I never forget the day that it was snowing outside, and I had the picket sign by myself, and you came down here and joined me. It was like 20-some degrees out there, folks thought we were crazy. But we made a stand for our employees.
Right,
And I get upset when we keep talking about bringing them back, voting up here, and we can't make that decision, bring them back, because we don't run day-to-day operation. But like I said, employees, you know, I'm compassionate with our employees, I promise you. It hurt me so bad to see people losing their car, losing their houses because of one man decision. You know, I think we should, as our legislator, for a sit outside and for sit outside to have a mass layoff, it had to become before the council. I'm telling you, because what the mayor did to our citizens and our employees, it wasn't fair.
that's right.
You know, he got mad at us before Christmas and laid people off before Christmas. And that's not right. But I just want to thank you for making a stand, because I'm telling you, sometimes I think you're a little too radical, but I'm radical myself, so you know, but I appreciate you. I just want to tell you that, you know, it means a lot for you to come up here as a citizen and voice your opinion, because a lot of people are scared to voice their opinion. They'll say something to me behind closed doors, but when they get up here, they won't even open their mouths, you know. And I'm calling all the employees that laid off or whatever, you know, y'all need to make a stand too, you know.
That's right.
Speak up, because what's going on now, they thinking y'all satisfied with being laid off, because, you know, they figured, well, they was getting the unemployment, now the unemployment done ran out. You know, I'd have been screaming before my unemployment ran out, but we need to do something for our employees. I hope that we can, by Christmas time, we can figure a way to give a one-time raise to our people. I know our financial treasurer, she could come up with some numbers, you know, but we got to do something for our laid-off employees.
All right, thank you, Councilman. Councilman LaShore, then we'll move on.
Well, I have no problem with you being a rapper. Sometimes it takes being a rapper brings about changes. But you was at that meeting last week, so what you heard the comments that was made by a number of employees. Did you not?
Yes, sir.
Did they appear that they was being subjugated to having fear of being retaliated because of what they said, how they said it?
No.
Okay. As a matter of fact, Mr. President, we got a lot of those employees at the audience tonight. And I tell you, then they made some very heartfelt comments about how they were being treated by the city. I personally don't feel like they felt that they was being intimidated. I think they was gonna say what was on their mind, what was on their heart, irregardless of who was present.
Right.
So those comments that was made last Wednesday, and they are in the minutes, and I'm hoping the clerk is gonna have those minutes for us soon and very soon, so I can read verbatim exactly what each one of those men said on that night, and women.
Right.
So I just want to hear from you. Did you feel there was some intimidation in you?
I did not feel that any of the city employees were intimidated. I do feel as if they is at the end of their rope where they don't know what to do. And that's something that as government has to change.
I agree. I had the same feeling. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, Councilwoman Bennett, second time around, then,
Thank you for sharing your feelings about others. One thing about feelings when it comes to an opinion of another about another,
Right.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
You can't guess my feelings.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't know who talked to me in private and scared the daylights out of me.
That's true.
You would not know that.
That's true.
So if I told the story to somebody in private, I just might change it if my livelihood is based on it. If I say it in public, I just might change that story if I gotta feed my wife and children.
Right.
So I gotta choose. I gotta choose what I'm gonna say in public, even though I might have told you the truth in private. That's why I got no business sharing your story that you shared with me in private, or sharing your name when you tell me something in private.
Right.
Because you don't know my feelings.
That's true.
You don't know who intimidates me. Nobody up here knows who intimidates me because of the presentation I'm making right now. My grandmother intimidated me. I told y'all that. But you didn't know that until I told you.
Right.
You would not have guessed it in public because I mind my manners. And I did what I was told.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman Benton. Thank you, Madam, for coming forward. For the Mayor's Report, Attorney Report, I see we have our Chief of Police. Are there any questions for Chief Green at this time?
Yeah, Mr. President.
Chief, would you please come forward, please, sir? Go ahead, Councilman Schiff.
I had heard through an anonymous source, and I need Chief Green to validate or deny it, that he has served notice to you, Mr. President, that he cannot be here to December 31st, and he has to be gone by November 5th. Is that true, Mr. Chief?
You did not serve me the notice. Go ahead.
Yes, that's true. My last day will be November 3rd.
So, Mr. President, that brings about the city. To fill the police chief vacancies, because we were dependent upon Chief Green to be a part of that process. And you think the screening and the selection process can be moved up?
Are we looking at November the 20th, looking at interviewing all 6 on that day, calling a special call meeting, then appointing the chief?
So Chief Green was.
Chief would be part of it.
Yeah, I just been informed that some of us will be at the national league of cities, and even though we're not part of the screening process, we
When we
Y'all recorded for us.
When we do that?
we'll be back on the 24th.
I know that.
We'll take it, and then hopefully you can just report it.
I was here.
All right. Councilwoman Thomas?
Mr. President.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But anyway, I am glad to hear that the screening and selection process has been moved up. Now,
Yes, sir.
although some of us won't be privileged to the process that we enjoyed during the fire chief
Yes, sir.
process, I do think if the same process that took place during the fire chief, that we're gonna come out with good candidates.
Yes, sir.
I looked over the 6 applicants, and we still have 6, am I correct?
That's correct.
No applicant has pulled out,
No, sir,
not to this day.
not to this.
So I do think whatever person is selected by that selection committee, I think they will send us in well.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Thomas. Any questions for the chief?
I go last, let her get it.
Mr. President,
I got a question.
I just want to say, yesterday, my husband had a little fender bender, and it was on his phone, and it wasn't a big deal, but I just wanted to say, you need the police to come out and make a report. And didn't have anything to do with me, they didn't know I was on the city council, but they came out, responded quickly, and they were being professional. He said he doesn't know who came out, but they were very nice, and I just wanted to say that. And I hear and see things that the faith in the Selma Police Department is being restored. And I thank you for that, Chief. Thank you for coming and helping us. I wish you could give us more time. I understand. But thank you very much.
All right, any other? Councilwoman Thomas.
Before I ask this question, I wanted to ask, can I ask this?
Councilwoman Thomas, you can ask anything you would like to ask.
Really?
Talk like you.
Yeah,
Really, but not really.
Okay.
No pun intended.
All right. Chief, since you've been in office, I noticed that a lot of things that you have corrected from the previous chief during the time of his time being in office. I wanted to ask you a question. When you become, is it fair that someone else will have a badge and?
Oh, that's my question.
Okay. Is it fair that someone that has used the badge, operating as he's a police officer in our city, and even though sometimes people abuse their power, you know, when they're in certain positions, is it fair that they would go out into the public and be pulling citizen over, which they are not? I thought you had to go through this protocol to be to have this badge. Is it?
Let me ask you first off, I'm gonna try to say the chief voice tonight. The only one who can deputize an auxiliary officer is the sheriff. That's the only one.
So what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying, that, you know, our city, we have a lot of, I would say a lot of abuse of people in general that has the opportunity to be in places that they take their power and go beyond what they're supposed to. And I just want to thank you for coming in, and I'm just hard to believe that we had someone that works for the city, even though, you know, that they could be out there doing citizen like that, you know, using their power with a police badge.
Chief is mean mugging you.
Chief knows where I'm coming from.
Chief, Councilman Benton, okay?
There's a follow-up on that. I asked the question more bluntly at work session, so I'm gonna ask it. I'm just gonna ask it the way that I asked it, and this is how I asked it. Do you have a city employee that resigned and turned in a rifle, a badge, and a pistol that was not a police officer?
Yes, they have a city employee who resigned that turned.
Give me the mic.
Yeah, you hear me?
Is it me too?
Didn't mind that piece of never working.
Give it. Ms. Harris. Give it.
Thank you, clerks.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
To answer your question, yes, about a week ago, we did have a city employee who was not a police officer who returned a badge and a rifle.
And question number 2, do we have items that were purchased by money order in the previous administration, police administration before you? Do we have items that were purchased on money order? And if so, do you know how that happened?
I don't know the specific details, but we did have one piece of property I learned about a week and a half ago that was purchased actually with a money order.
In the police department?
Yes.
How much?
I'm almost embarrassed to say, but it was $250 for a vehicle that was purchased from Jackson Police Department.
So is that the personal property of somebody now that we paid for, or is it in inventory?
That property was the property of Jackson Police Department. It was purchased by my predecessor, the Chief Collins, from that department.
To a money order.
Yes.
I'm to a money order from the city of Selma.
It's got a money order from the post office. I have a copy of the money.
So where the car is?
Is it in inventory?
Yes, as a matter of fact, that vehicle had been assigned to, initially to a detective, and later on, after that detective resigned, that vehicle was assigned to an officer. And we needed to do some repairs, and we were looking for certain documents regarding that vehicle. And that's when we found out, or discovered that it was purchased from Jackson PD with the money order. As a matter of fact, the vehicle is still registered to the Jackson Police Department.
Not even our property. So, Madam Treasurer, would you, I don't even know how you found out. We would not know this. There's no. Will you research that as best you can, please, ma'am? I don't even know if you can find information on it, but as best you can.
All right, my last Councilman, the short and Councilman.
How many do we have in the academy, if any?
At this particular time, we don't have any officers in the police academy.
Are there any viable candidates that you going over, trying to determine whether or not you select them or not?
There are several candidates that we're backgrounding now, but we don't know whether or not those candidates are going to pass all the steps in the process, in the hiring process for us to even hire them. But we're looking at several candidates now.
And you know, how long we will know whether or not they're in the academy or not in the academy, will we know this by our next council meeting or next two council meetings?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Will we know the status of the applicants within the next couple of council meetings?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Jackson.
Chief, I want to go back to the money order. You said it was $250. Was it a personal money order from the U.S. Post Office? Was it from the city of Selma, made out from the city of Selma, purchased at the post office? I know you say you have a copy. Maybe it'd just be easier to look at the copy.
This is personal money.
Personal money order. Was it done as a gift? Did Chief call you, take $250 out of his pocket and go to the money order and purchase this as a gift and fail to register? I don't understand what happened. He did not use our money in our coffer. Is that correct?
I have no idea where Chief Carr you got the funds from to pay for this particular money.
So all you know is that it was not written on the city of Selma check. It was a U.S. Post Office. It was Chief Carr, you took it in possession. It is in the city's possession, but it has not been registered. Is that correct? Is that
That's
my
correct. The
understanding?
city of Selma follows the purchase order process when it's purchasing any type of equipment. So that equipment was not following the guidelines specified by the city of Selma.
Councilwoman Thomas. Councilwoman Thomas.
Oh, Chief, didn't you tell us at the last public safety meeting that we can have a site that, since we need more officers, that we can, this site that they can go on, that they're set up for us to recruit more police officers?
Yes, there are several different sites that you can utilize to recruit new officers. You can utilize the International Association of Chiefs of Police website. You can use the Alabama Association of Chiefs of Police website. You can also use LETS, Law Enforcement Tactical Systems website, to advertise vacancies for the position of Chief of Police, as well as for police officers.
Also, too, Chief, have we returned all of the latest equipment that was loaned to us?
I assume you're inquiring about the equipment that we received from ROCIC, the Regional Organized Crime Information Center. We located all that equipment and returned it last week.
What use do you probably use that for? Stakeout or what? When you have that equipment, stuff like that?
That equipment is used by our undercover officers, our detectives.
Councilman.
Okay.
I think I seen Councilman Randolph and Councilman LaShore, then Councilwoman Jackson, then Councilwoman Thomas. Then we're gonna let Chief go sit down.
Yeah, Chief, thank you for all you have done for our city. We talked about the surveillance equipment. Was any of that equipment used to surveillance me?
I have no idea, Councilman Randolph, that did not happen under my watch, nor would it have happened under my watch.
Do you have a file that I've been surveilling on, like from the police department? Like pictures of me being in certain places, going places, driving?
No, I don't have a file. I did see one report that was made regarding the arrest.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Short.
Chief, have we started spending the weed city money, and if so, what have we bought?
The process is a lengthy process. We have submitted a purchase order to purchase 2 Suburbans at a cost of $84,000. We're looking to purchase a mobile command post before the end of the week. That's at a cost of $1,888. And we're also looking to spend some of the overtime money that we have been allotted. That's $20,000. So we have set up a work detail to spend some of those funds.
So that weed city money can be used overtime?
$20,000 can.
Is that the JAG, that's included with the JAG money?
That's weed and seed. That's something entirely different.
But I'm saying, do you have some additional money for JAG money for overtime?
For the year 19, for the 2019-2020 year, it's not, if I'm not mistaken, we have $19,000 to spend for JAG.
Thank you. Councilwoman Jackson?
Chief, I wanted to ask you, the year, make, and model of that vehicle that was purchased for $250 from Jackson, and if you know the approximate amount.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 2007 or 2008 Chevrolet Tahoe. I don't know the number of miles on that vehicle, but I can get that information.
And will we able to come to any type of agreement with the contract that was previously entered into by the chief alone that did not come before the council? Were you able to make any headway on that? I think you brought it to us several council meetings ago. You said it was actually over or more money than it should have been expended for the services.
You're talking about a clear contract, which was, I think, $49,000 over a 3-year period. We have not rectified that problem as of this date.
Thank you, Chief.
Last, Councilwoman Thomas, then Chief, go ahead.
Chief, you have the police department, have their Wi-Fi up running good now for you? When people want to report, accident report or police report, they can get in there?
We can provide accident reports, but we are still at ground zero regarding all the other problems that we have. Those problems have not been rectified.
They have not. Okay, I'm gonna ask you another question. Do our officers have, so far I see police officers we have now, they have all the equipment they need, and you're in the process of cars coming in?
With the addition of the 2 Suburbans that we have added to the list and that we have submitted the purchase orders for, we have 9 vehicles that will be on the way because we ordered 7 Dodge Chargers, so there should be 9 vehicles on the way.
And they have, so our officer out there now serving our citizens, public safety, they have all the equipment to walk. They have a body camera, all the officers have a body camera, they have everything that they need to be out here in the city of Selma for public safety.
Councilwoman Thomas, they have everything that they need to do their job effectively, but we have all kinds of funds that we're going to utilize to get them additional equipment that they need to make it even easier.
All right.
Last question, uniform crime report, we're able to submit with current with the chief?
The City of Selma Police Department has not submitted any reports to the state since early April, so that would have an adverse impact on our ability to be a part of the uniform crime reports that's submitted annually.
Just out of curiosity, what excuse is given when you try to find out why you guys aren't running online?
The same excuse that I've been given ever since I came aboard, that they're working on it and that the system crashed in May. Of course, we had a hacking problem back in, I think, September, so.
Just can't get that thing back up and running.
All right.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much.
We really enjoyed working with you. Thank you so much, Chief. I put in a request. And I'll email you the request that I put in. I'll see everybody.
And then secondly, council members, when the budget amendments come, and I gave the treasurer all of yours, but please strongly consider the one that came from Councilwoman Jackson. The IT in the box, the guy that came to, the gentleman that came, I can't remember his name, and presented. David Mills, for IT in the box. He told us what his services are. Y'all please strongly consider that when we're considering the budget amendment.
Councilwoman.
And then they're supposed to be putting up can they hire somebody? It's supposed to be going up on the board that they're supposed to be bringing someone back into the IT office. Would that be one of the person that laid off, or would that be someone bringing Gabe back, or who?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it.
You're saying they're posting a job over there?
Yes, they're supposed to be putting up, yes.
Okay. That's the first one.
You know, we was talking about the police chief, Lee. So, what's the date that we're gonna try to get the chief in here by?
This month.
Because I was saying, just in case we don't get one, could we make maybe Captain King the interim chief? You know, just in case we don't have anybody.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Let's go through the process first, right?
Yeah.
And then go from there. We have
because I don't want to be without the chief.
No, we won't be without you.
Yeah.
I have a plan A, B, C, D, and E.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Wade will give a financial update on Monday along with Ms. Lewis, on Monday. Committee reports. Recreation Committee.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I really don't have a report no more than got an opportunity to listen to some of the employees from the Recreation Department, Jerry Jackson, along with Mr. Jerry Barron, voicing their concern about the work that need to be done. I hope when December the 10th get here that we can get this straightened out, because we losing money every event that's going on at the Memorial Stadium. I know here we are giving the stadium waiving fees for that. We have to do the help out with the doing the lines and stuff like that on the football field. So I'm looking forward for December 10th to see when we get these workers back to work. Well, at least it may not be exact that day, that I hope when the budget be amended that we go ahead and move forward with getting all the employees back. If we don't give them a raise at a particular time, at least that particular year, give them a one-time raise. Because this got to stop. Right now, we losing money every day, especially when it comes to the recreation department, because that's some funding that we can be using to help out with our city. Also, you know, I heard y'all. I listened to y'all. I was here. It was sincere. I heard all of your employees when y'all spoke from your heart. I mean, I really was touched. I truly believe when you came and spoke, it was nothing to deal with the mayor at all. I listened to you, and I mean, and like I said again, I just all I can say, man, I'm just doing it. We just doing the best we can to try to get y'all where y'all deserve to be, because I'm paying my helper more money than y'all making. And you've been there, I think, 20-some years. I heard one guy said been there for 30-some years, and these guys still making a little bit over minimum wage, and that's sad. That really sad. You know, so I hope and pray that we can get y'all up and going where y'all deserve to be at. I think some of y'all CDL license just making got CDL license making $8 some hour, when you should be making $15, $20 an hour. But you know, I feel your pain. But not just for the public work, for the recreation department as well. But the last I want to mention is, I want to thank everybody that came out yesterday. I had to postpone my Halloween carnival the day of the Halloween because the weather was so bad, but we did a fun day for the kids on yesterday. It was successful. I want to thank everybody from Walker to my kids. I'm just gonna stop naming, but everybody that came and contributed, I really want to say thank you. I appreciate everybody that helped us out on yesterday, and I said, Ward 8 will be having an award meeting coming up real soon that I think we really needed. So please be listening out for the date, and I'm gonna say good night. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Johnson. Councilwoman Youngblood, Community Development.
Okay, first of all, I want to remind everybody about the Christmas parade on December the 7th, and the deadline date to sign up, I believe that's November 22nd, to have your floats or your group in, if you're going to be in the parade, that's looming large. And also, after the parade, we're going to light up Water Avenue. The Family Resource Center has the Christmas trees, and they'll be lighting up Water Avenue. And we, the ladies of the council, that would be Councilwoman Benjamin, Jackson, and Thomas, and I are working on an old-fashioned Christmas. So we'll be working with some of the folks in the community to try to add some little old-fashioned charm and some of the singing groups. So we hope that y'all will come to enjoy the parade and then enjoy Water Avenue afterwards, and we'll just see what good stuff we can get into down there. I do have a contract, Mr. President, for the Welcome Center, and I will give this to you and for your perusal.
You want to go on? Need to vote on it?
Okay.
Yeah, also Councilman.
I got it, right.
Okay.
If you want, somebody need to make a motion.
I
I
mean,
like to make
contract.
I like to make the motion to, I got two contract to need to be passed if I could, Mr. President, for some work that was done in Ward 8.
Grass cutting.
Yes, and some cleaning up and everything. Yes, sir.
Councilman, you have a contract for what?
Okay, are we gonna do all the contracts together?
Let's do all
Okay.
together.
All right, and I've got 3 purchase orders that I don't know, do we wanna do them before I submit the purchase orders, or do we wanna do them after the purchase?
All right.
Okay, I got you. All right, and this contract for services, this is just the contract to pay the workers $7.25 an hour, unless otherwise agreed upon. And it says that Henry Thompson is their supervisor and will set the hours, because we have people that have agreed to work on the weekends, which will be a big plus, particularly coming up with the holidays. And it is just your typical contract like Graham has drawn up. So it's going to be covered 7 days a week, when people work. So there you go, and it's for your signature along with the.
Councilman Johnson, what's your contract?
Yeah, my contract is for Mr. Ray Brown, for the service that he has done, cutting and cleaning up around Charlotte about the church, and cutting grass and trash and spraying some weeds and stuff. The other one is for William Tarver, for cutting highway, right away on Alabama Maxis, cutting trees down, clean ditches on Gregory Street, cutting trees down on Hardy Street and dumping, hauling dump trash and trees, clean up trash and hauling to dump on Green Street.
Councilman Thomas.
Oh,
Your contract?
I will bring it forth, the contracts for the, Welcome Center, the 2 people.
Yeah.
I'm getting the contracts done for those 2, part-time.
we-
You already got it?
Yes, this is
Oh,
it.
okay, we need to straight.
No, that's the public building to work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I gotta do the contract for them.
Okay, you gonna do it Monday?
Yes, I have a Monday.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have a motion on the floor to, Councilman?
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What y'all decide about the contract for, somebody to help out in office?
That's gonna.
President's president told me to bring it up Monday.
Oh, okay.
So we have a motion on the floor to approve
You'll be absent.
Second.
second, Councilman Johnson, also Councilwoman Youngblood contract. All right. We have a motion on the floor, Councilwoman Youngblood, second, Councilman Johnson. Any further discussion? Any further discussion?
Well, you know, I brought my contract up last meeting. You remember?
Yeah, we passed that contract. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can't, okay.
Yeah, we passed.
Oh, okay, so but I hadn't did work. Yeah, so we passed it.
Well, you, I
No,
mean.
I'm not talking about the payment for the, I fixed that.
I don't know, I mean, this is done, after we got back from the maternity, so bring it over and pass it through.
This is
for payment now.
Yeah, this is for Ward 8 and Rocky Silver contract. All right, roll call.
President Bowie?
Yes.
Councilman Bowe?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngberg?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
I'm abstaining.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph?
Yes.
Councilman LaShaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas? What we vote for that be?
Contract.
Oh, for the contract that we're doing now?
The
Welcome
welcome
Center.
center?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Okay, also too, before I go to, administrative committee, talked to Judge Nunn today. This is the yearly contract that the council paid half of it, for the cutting of the median, starting at the bottom, the foot of the bridge, all the way out to, Craig Field. This is a yearly contract that we have been paying, and, talking with the judge today, he was hoping that we can move forward to, vote on the contract. I think it's $15,000, and, I think it's half and half. 7.5 that the city paid. No, 15,000. 15,000. And I know it's been coming out of, community development. So it's a line item in community development. And I want to put a motion on the floor that we move forward with the transportation enhancement project. And we awarded to, I think, Spivey Lawn Service. We have a motion on the floor, have a second by Councilwoman Youngblood and Councilman Johnson. Is it further discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Mr. President, and I may be totally wrong, but I thought we used to put contracts on first read, and that's why I'm saying that we've never done that. I thought we used to have an opportunity to read over it.
Okay, well,
Contracts and
if y'all would like to, you know.
We'll be back Monday.
We'll be back
I'm
Monday.
used to this one coming through, I'm just saying, I want to vote on contracts, but I want to have an opportunity to read over. If we don't, if we've never done this,
You feel comfortable with this, or you want this over to Monday?
I think we should hold it to Monday. Just that, I know this is what we had last year, but I would love an opportunity to read over it. We didn't discuss it Thursday night.
Okay, we'll just hold it off to Monday. Rescind it, okay.
Maybe we've never done that, but I just thought.
Right, that's fine, all right. Administrative committee,
No report, looking forward to hearing the minutes from the meeting with the employees and getting involved with that. As far as what was said, I also feel that they were honest and straightforward in their communication. And do appreciate them taking time to come to us and be honest with us about that. Obviously, it's a sticky wicket trying to figure out solutions to that problem. Obviously, it's easier to do those kind of things when everybody's pulling their weight. And hope we get the employees back getting the trash up at least. And getting that problem rectified as we get closer and closer to making a decision on how we can, find the funding necessary to give these individuals raises.
thank you, Councilman, Bowen. Public safety, we're interviewing the, police chief starting November the 20th. I will be giving you further details within the next week or so. Public works,
Yeah,
Councilman Shaw?
yeah, Mr. President, I was really looking forward to that exploratory meeting that you had made mention to the council at our last meeting. However, I did receive a communication, a CC that was sent to you by the mayor, with you trying to get an audience with him and with his recommendation. And therefore, once I knew then there was not going to be a meeting. And I knew that this council needed to hear from the employees the reasons for their work stoppage or whatever they did. Therefore, I called Councilman Johnson and I asked him about his timeline. And then I called Councilman Boland. I was talking about another matter, but then when they mentioned about this meeting, he felt administrators need to be included, and I had no problem with that. So therefore, when I started trying to put together a date and time, the time and date wasn't commensurate with everybody. So I thought the best option was to have 2 meetings, and you just come to the meeting that best suited you. Well, the 12 o'clock meeting took place, and it was a heartfelt meeting that I heard from the employees. Mr. President, I would like for this council to allow Mr. Green, who was a spokesperson at that meeting, to come to our meeting Monday. Mr. Green, if he would be willing to come Monday at our council meeting and talk about some of the concerns that he talked about in our committee meeting last Wednesday. I think this council need to hear from him. And I think this council need to afford him an opportunity to speak on the behalf of public works employees that he represented at Wednesday night. I don't think the time that we would afford Mr. Green would be time well spent. And I hope and pray that you, Mr. President, will allow it. Mr. Green is here tonight, and if he will be allowed, I think we need to let him know that he would have that avenue of coming before this council.
Mr. President? Well, I don't have a problem with Mr. Green coming, but my colleague, you know, said you gotta go through the mayor's office, so you, am I going through the mayor's office, just gonna invite Mr. Green?
This man is on his own time, he's off work. He don't do the mayor.
Oh, okay, so he coming as a citizen, okay.
Well, only thing I can say is this man is off work, he don't need the mayor permission to come speak to a council.
Oh, okay, I thought he was coming as an employee.
I'll forward it on to it. All right, I'll forward it on to it. All right, children and
No,
family.
I'm not putting Mr. Mayor, I mean. Trying to be a promotion.
I got to put you in way.
But anyway, I'm hoping that Ms. Ivy will have the restricted minutes Monday.
Yes, sir.
So that each council can be afforded the benefit of hearing the concerns of the employees that attended Wednesday night session. And they came back and found our session as well. Unfortunately, there was only one council person here, and that was me, but then that's okay. But because there was 3 committees, there was a quorum that was held by the Recreation Committee. And because Michael Johnson is chairman of the Recreation Committee, and I'm a member, then that was a legal meeting, although the meeting comprised of 3 committees. I want to thank my colleague, Councilman Boland and Councilman Johnson for being there with me, hearing the concerns of the employees. It really would bring me to tears hearing from the concerns of those employees, as though they've been treated as stepchildren, orphans, wards of the states, and that this city don't care about them or their families. I think it would be wise and it would be an eye-opener if you, Mr. President, once again allow Mr. Green to come before us Monday, share with him the concerns of the public works employees, and of course, if Councilman Johnston, if you could contact any recreation work, that they too can come, with the blessing of the president, that they can be made aware of what some of the concerns are that we don't know nothing about other than what we heard about on Facebook and in the newspaper.
Okay, I'll give him a few minutes. In addition, I'm gonna contact someone who's laid off and bring them into the mix too.
That's right.
I got you. But anyway, Mr. President, Ms. Ivy, you think we'll have a minute script on that? I know you're overworking on things.
All right,
That was the resounding sentiment of the night.
That's not fair.
Overworking on paid. And to some degree, you know, they're right. But I think these minutes will be important, so they can be part of the minutes, they can be part of the business of the Selma City Council. One thing we did address the concerns of employees that was involved in the work stoppage that brought about a disruption in city services to the people.
thank you, Councilman Short.
I have a quick question, Councilman Short. Did the workers say that they're at work or not at work every day?
They told what they was at work.
At work every day?
They don't come out.
They're just at the building?
I don't know where they are, I'm just telling you what they told me.
Oh, okay.
They said they were working around the building, they doing something outside. They said they was working around the building.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the question. You
I took pictures.
Hold on.
They said that they were working today. and that they really haven't
Been gone.
well, some took leave, and who categorized it as a sick officer, some said the mayor did. But I think in reality, it was some concern by the employees shortly after the council did not approve the budget, which involved pay raises for the lowest paid employees of the city. That was Public Works. And
And the highest paid.
and the highest paid. But at the very least, those at the lowest echelon was going to receive I guess, a livable wage. And for that not to be accepted by this council, I think it was just hard. It was just a hard pill to swallow by some employees. So I think Mr. Wayne spoke well Wednesday, and I think he would do the same thing Monday.
And then finally, I just heard something that you said that triggered me saying this. Finally, we received, when I received something from the mayor's office, I call it official correspondence. And I thought everybody was on that email that we received that was sent from the mayor's office on behalf of Stephen Hendricks from the Public Works Department. In this letter from the mayor's office and Stephen Hendricks, the letter said that the workers are not coming. They're sick. Some are sick. There's two different things in that letter actually. They are sick and then they're sick and tired. In the letter. So the letter, that is official information for me when it comes from the mayor's office. And I thought all of us was on that email that received that correspondence that told us what the workers said. The workers said that they were going home and they were not returning. Is what the letter said. That's what the letter from Stephen Hendricks and the mayor's office said to us. And Mr. Green, I'm so glad you stayed for the whole meeting, because what I'm going to do is give you a copy of it, because I want you to have it.
And also, I think Steve Henry spoke on the behalf of the other department heads in that letter. So,
I think what was the finale?
Let me try to compute.
Was yes, there were some people that did go home, but they used sick leave and vacation time. Now, I don't really know what they used. I don't know what their problem was. I do know that work stoppage of the city came to a halt. And it impacted the citizens, that this council needed to find out why. And for us not to know and do nothing, it just didn't sit well with me. And I know that was going to be a part of the exploratory meeting that you was going to conduct with the mayor, that we would find out what the problem was, but because that meeting did not take place, and because we found out through the committees, I think the council has did its duties and addressed these workers that walk off the job for whatever reason, vacation time, sick leave, thing. I really don't know. But the fact is that it did impact the city. Okay, created a problem for the citizens, and we need to know why.
okay. Children and Families, Councilwoman Jackson.
Children and Families Report, I do want to say that, well, I need to ask first. I like to start by asking questions, make sure that I have the correct understanding. And forgive me, I don't know why my left eye is hurting so bad. It's swelling, so I keep pushing it back in. But I want to know first, are employees allowed to work outside of their job description without approval? Yea or nay?
It's supposed to be approved, yes.
Got to be
It's
approved.
got to be approved by the supervisor.
Somebody do it.
Yes, so Mr. LaSure, Councilman LaSure asked me for an example, and he stated this evening that the public works workers are working, they're working around their building. Their job description in other buildings. Their job description is CDL drivers, trash truck. We purchased 5 trash trucks, totaling over $100,000 for picking up trash. And someone has to approve for them to work around the building, mowing the lawn, sweeping off the cement, watching the grass grow, whatever they've chosen to do, someone has to approve that. Because I know in my office, people just don't get to not show up for court if I didn't approve it. You know, you have a job description. So I'm wondering who approved that? Because our citizens are being hurt because the trash is not being picked up and the units are being left on, the trash trucks are being left on the yard. Now, we want to do everything that we can. We want everybody to go. The Bible says the laborer is worthy of their hire. So we understand that. But we also understand those that have done this for the last 3 years, 20 years, more years, understand that we're bound by our budget. We're bound by the finances that we have, and that without the ability to determine how the finances, we don't have an opportunity to give raises unless we know the revenue are going to be there to cover those raises. Because what we don't want to do is lay off 6 to 8 employees, give raises the next year. That's not something that we want to do. And we don't want to give raises this year and then lay off the employees next year because we can't cover the raises that we gave. So we want to do our due diligence and make sure that when we give the raises to the people that need them, there actually is something that's sustainable. And in the meantime, we should have employees that's in a right to work state that have determined that they're not going to work in the job description in the capacity that they're paid or they're employed to. Now, I want to hear what everyone has to say, and my heart goes out for anyone. There's individuals that I saw here tonight that was there when I was 18 years old, coming out of high school, working at General Services under Mr. Stalling in my first official capacity. So those men I know and understand. I worked there a year and a half, almost 2 years before I left and went off to school and married and did all those things. And so those men I have a regard for. I know how hard they worked back then. They were working and picking up garbage twice a week and going to the back doors and things of that sort. And so I have an understanding and a compassion and a capacity to put into perspective their need for additional funding. What I do not have is the ability to understand how we neglect our posts, cause our citizens to suffer, and expect that we're going to be bullied into a position that we're going to do something that you want to happen through force, intimidation, or bullying. I don't understand that. I will not get with that. That should not be a part of the way that we handle working in the city of Selma. That should not be the culture. It has almost become a norm in the city of Selma now that if we don't get our way, we bully and intimidate others and we cause people to suffer that shouldn't suffer until we get what we want, and that should not be the norm. So I'm excited to hear about this because I want to know not just about where your degrees lie, but what you have put in to understanding the budget process, understanding the totality of the expenses and the income that we have at the city of Selma. Because I poured into several hours each week, each day almost, trying to understand and trying to make sure that I'm making sound decisions that's in the best interest of our employees and the citizens and the cities as a whole. And this right here, the position that we're in, has not caused either of us. I'm a citizen. My trash hasn't been picked up. When you get your husband fussing at you about your trash hasn't been picked up, when you have citizens calling and saying, can I do a tax out? Can I not pay my property tax? I mean, that I have citizens calling me and saying that. You know, so how much more will we be able to pay or not pay our employees if they decide that I'm not going to pay my taxes because I'm not giving them services? Now, those are what my citizens are saying to me, and now I'm begging and pleading and discussing with them not to do that. Yeah. But what if they take the same intimidating, bullying process that has become a part of the Selma culture? So I'll finish on that note tonight, but I'm excited, and I'm going to have a litany of questions. I bring my legal pad with me because I definitely.
I think it may be best interest to leave at 4 o'clock.
I want to be clear. Are you accusing the employees of bullying the city government?
What I'm accusing.
Are you accusing them of bullying them because they didn't get what they want?
What I'm stating.
I know. I mean, you used the term bullying. I just need to know: are you accusing them of bullying?
What I'm.
Let us explain.
What I'm stating is that that I won't change and I won't regard, is that the tactics they have used, be it through the management, the executive office, or others, are not in line with their job description. You cannot go to your position and hold up in the office and not do your job and expect to get paid. That is a form of intimidation, whoever chooses to use.
So your answer is yes, you accuse them of bullying.
I didn't accuse anyone, I stated
Okay.
factually.
I just asked a question.
I know one thing, you can't get away at 3,000 euros in the park with.
Right. Try it everywhere but the city.
Yeah, you won't have no job.
I don't think Dr. Mitchell would have it.
So one thing,
Period.
President,
Go ahead.
I like Ms. Jackson, the workers, you just made a said something a minute second ago. When you, Mr. President, went and asked me to go talk to the mayor, and I did, I came back and I said, the mayor said that he can't bring all on back, but he can bring some on back because he want to be able to sustain the ones that he bring back. I'm trying to figure out what's the difference is bringing someone back then and what Ms. Jackson saying a few minutes ago, before we do this, we need to make sure we sustain them and lay them back on. So we at least would have had some of the workers back, because the mayor pretty much said the same thing, is that particular night, but they bring some on back, and that way we can keep them, and we'll keep them there, and that way we will be able to sustain them.
But
You know?
I just hope you bring back the right way.
Well, I understand,
Bring them off.
no, I'm saying, but y'all asked me, and I told you
You
y'all
did.
have bullshit. But I'm just telling you, I'm just telling you what he said, but everybody said, no, we want them all back, we want them all back. That's what was told me. I said, now the mayor said that he want to bring some of the workers back, he have no problem with that. And that way, they will be able to sustain the workers, he don't want to bring them back, and then they'll lay them back off later.
But keep this in mind, the concept, the way he's talking about bringing them back, re-engineering with one individual, you have to get a job description, and the council had to vote on that.
Yeah, but half of them been doing
No, I'm just talking about the re-engineering strategy.
Yeah, I'm
They
saying,
tried to do.
but at least I'm saying, I'm saying we could have had some of the workers back though. We could have had some of them back. But anyway, that's here, there.
It's not here, there. It's not
That's
here.
right, that's over, that's it.
All right. Public buildings, Councilwoman Thomas.
I want to thank Councilman Benjamin for being with me going through this transition with this public building. We have coming up to 2020. We've made a progress. I went over there today, the Dallas Academy building. They're looking good. I think they finished the air conditioning. Also, we have one more phrase that we must finish. I got a call from Attorney Woody today saying that the lady from the insurance company wanted to know what do we want them to do with the ceramic, with the floors. And I'm gonna take Woody the pictures of what was on the floors at the time, and they stripped it when they went in to clean up. So after we finish that, we will be through, we'll be unfinished, some of the buildings that we've been trying to get open back up. Also, I need to get the contracts to move forward. I talked to Mr. Woody. Mr. Woody said that he had not received, when I talked to him, he said he did not receive the contracts for the Black Belt benefit program to move forward, to sign off on, and the contract for the Dallas Academy building for Judge Armstrong to put his resource in. So we got to finish those, Corey.
Okay.
Those contracts, we must get those contracts in before they start the events, before they start moving in.
Okay.
And also we want to, I wanted to recommend too, that we have, I contact Mr. Robert, who's over at, I can't get the word out. About the lights. Because it bothered me more, the harder we've been working on getting these boxes up. So they say they was gonna get us, Mr. Roberts said he will send us, they got somebody coming in and do 10 boxes for us. And he will send us, we will get that information and how much it's gonna cost us. Then the next, President Board, in the middle of our budget, could we have a certain amount, for work to be done on our public buildings. We have what, like 85,000?
85,000.
85,000. I want to recommend, till we put more, because this, for 1 year, our city building has been neglected. Plus this here, we definitely need to do something. You know, I feel kind of bad when we have people coming in the city hall. We have a vacuum and it's dust everywhere. The floors are dirty, and I just want us to start out 2020, whenever the end coming in, that we do something with our city property, clean it up. And also, President Wood, could we get somebody with this fountain over here?
Yes, ma'am.
It is ridiculous. It has trash, garbage, it is green water, it's everything in there. And tourists be coming, reading their little plaques out here, and they be looking over, it's disgusting. And this city has never come to this. And also, I talked to Mr. Dunn. He said that we talked about the 4 entries. He's gonna send us that information too, about cleaning, putting down flowers and making our city when the entrance when you come in downtown.
That makes all the difference with the main
Yes.
thoroughfares.
Yes, and also down here around City Hall, they're gonna work around trying to, downtown area where the tourists come in, we can do something with our dead bushes.
Okay. All right, thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Randolph, I skipped your capital equipment.
Yeah, I look forward to the 9 vehicles that the police department is giving. I hope we can get them before December the 7th. Maybe we can show the citizen where their taxpayer dollars are going. By allowing those vehicles to be in the parade. Just like show people where their money going. To stop asking for money. And you're not showing people what you're doing with it, So I think it's a great opportunity for the city to let constituents know where the taxpayers' dollars are going to. And also, I forgot an announcement. Selma Housing Authority soliciting toys for needy families. Anybody in radio listening order, I would like to sponsor a child in the housing authority. If you can, you can drop it off at 444 Washington Street at the Selma Housing Authority office from 8 to 4. So they just wanted to make that announcement. If anybody would like to donate some toys to the young people in the housing authority, you can take it by their office.
Thank you, Councilwoman Benton.
Oh, well, okay. I'll have a report when we return. I'll have a professional development report when we return. I just went back there to print Mr. Green the email, and the internet has become unavailable. It's shut down. So what I'll do is I'll send this.
Shut it down.
And I'm gonna get it to you before Monday, though. Because the letter, I'm gonna give it to you before I wanted you to have a copy of it in your. I wanted you to put a. I'm gonna get it to you before Monday so you can read it. But I also solicit the help of Ms. Ellison, who I always solicit the help of when our computers get hacked and shut down. I'm gonna email it to you and ask you to print it for me. And so I waited and the internet is now on a.
I told you, Councilor, the ghosts need to get out of here.
There's a ghost in City Hall, Mr. Green.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?